Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about Woolworths and kind of the couple trades we did on it. Did end up giving a bit away in the end, got a bit scalpy, a bit too trigger happy, but we'll get into what we can do to fix that in the future and what we did well and also kind of what we could have done better. So obviously, not financial advice. This is really just informational. You just read this at your own accord. So what's a buy the dip? So the stock gaps down a big amount, then finds a level and rallies into new intraday highs. How is the extra position? So you can see it kind of was coming down a little, continued that trend, fell down quite a bit on the open, then came back up and is now on the other part of the trend line. But so what's the catalyst? So they're separating from the alcohol company and the big costs and jobs lost. And so the catalyst is pretty important. Here's some of the stock information. So this is the first introduction to our pre-market sheet. This is the statistics section, so you can see, so you get yesterday's close, which was 37.41. Yes, the 52-week high, which is 44.06, and the 52-week low, which is 35.66. So the shares on issue, pretty big stock, but overall, there's a lot of institutional holders in this as well. So the gap down about 14%, which was pretty insane, and had an ARV of about 3.8 at the time of recording this video. So the daily positioning, so you can see it was consolidating at the highs, the most recent day kind of pulling it down a little. And then this is kind of where it opened, just for framework, it opened down here. So, the buy the dip was definitely the trade, in my opinion, the big trade that you could have got. So this was the previous day kind of chart. The news actually came out on the previous day, but didn't really have a huge move, kind of just followed what looked like the index's move. And then, when I opened up the charts today, I had it in mind and I saw that it was gapping down like 16% prior to the open, maybe an hour or 2 hours before the open. And so I thought because it closed at the lows, probably going to be in for a pretty easy trade. I was thinking, if it doesn't really gap, maybe short to the lows. And we'll get into that actually here. So this is our pre-market plan. So this is the sheet that you can see. We also have a statistics section like I showed you above, but you can open and close that as you want. So if then statements, we're looking for a long, if it gaps below 10%, for a buy the dip. If looking for it to stall or match and then hit, risking off the match, which is what I did, and we'll get into why that was a mistake in a second. If the stock closes the current gap, I will look for a short through the low of yesterday. So I understand that this is kind of confusing, but what I was trying to say there is that if it doesn't really gap, maybe I'll look for a low through yesterday if the volume's good enough. So we have our support levels, did a ton of support levels and resistance levels just to see maybe there was a level that it would come down to. It did actually come down to a level, so it came down to 36. And additional notes, last time our gap down was pretty much a buy on the match and then hold all day. So, pretty interesting. So this is the intraday chart. So what did we do? So originally we see this sell down here. I bought some just as it came up above that part of the candle, and I was looking for it to just continue up from there, but didn't actually work out like that. Made lower high, started to come down. I sold around here, so about a scratch, and then I went short as it broke the opening print. Got out, covered some here, and then covered some into just above 36 because I had 36 as a level. When I saw the wick through 36, I then took a long, exited into VWAP because I thought the VWAP could be resistance, and you see the candles getting shorter. And then I actually took a short by mistake because I was trying to go long again, so I cancelled that for scratch, got straight into the long, and then rode it up, exited some around here at the highs, and then some into the 2%, and then fully out here. Then saw this 37, which as you saw in the last sheet was another level that we had listed, and went long again around here and exited into around the highs from before with the final exit at the first sign of weakness. Mess around a little bit here, got kind of caught up trying to chase and stuff. Nothing big though, didn't really make any serious losses. Then put in a preemptive order at 37.02, got hit on that, risking 4 pips off VWAP because it was the level plus VWAP. Know this trade, all right. And then exited as it kind of came up, exited a little bit there, a little bit over here, and exited fully here as it made that little thing, which was a bit preemptive, but you know, what can you do? Then you know, tried to get a short in a couple of little places and stuff like that. Kind of gave back a bit more than I'm happy with. But that's all right, you know, like you made some mistakes, didn't trade the setups properly. This is the first tape I'm going to bring your attention to. So it's just after it broke that opening print, so I'm going to wait for it to restart here. So, you know, it's up close to the 37. It was a level from before. I saw this start to happen, and I tried to hit into these levels, couldn't hit out, and then hit out finally around here. And then I went short around there, sized back in a little bit more as it came up, retested the close to the 66, but didn't. And you can see just the selling power that's there, right? I mean, you see right now there's still some big buyers, big buyer, big seller, bigger seller, much bigger seller. So, you know, this is the whole point, is that you're seeing what's actually happening. If you were watching what's happening, apart from that one big buy there was very little reason to be long other than the chart. And so, you know, exiting and flipping made a lot of sense. Now I'm going to show you guys kind of the sweep. So this is something that you see quite a lot, where people get actually stopped out of their trades because of stuff like this. Like, some people say it's stop hunting. Some people just say it's market orders, whatever you want really. Point being that you see it swept under, and as it's swept under, I actually started along. So I think I got like 03 or something like that. And then, yeah, I just show you the tape a little bit here, kind of how it was interacting from that point on. See that there was a wall that set up at 30. Buyers come in, they're being very aggressive, really want this stock. And there we get to about VWAP, I think it is, around there, if I remember rightly. Have a look. Yeah, so around that level. Anyway, but yeah, so what could we have done better? Hit the defense of $6 a lot harder, added through VWAP rather than re-entering. Scalped the first 2 candles because, you know, we had that 7 as a level. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I definitely should have. Used a bit wider stop so we didn't get cut out of our ads and our small calls that we were holding through the moves, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely should have been bigger on this trade. Really happy with how I traded though, and yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.